Ladies and gentlemen, the creative director of The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann, and the man who will be producing The Last of Us movie, the one and only Sam Raimi. All right. Well, welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks, great beer.
Yeah, and Neil, I want to start with you as a video game guy. You know, you could have easily passed this project off. So go ahead here, you take it. I'm going to stay in this world, do my thing. Sam, you're not leaving, are you?
No, I just want to make sure that I can see these fans over here.
Oh, look at that! See?
You guys are the greatest, not you. These guys over here. Yeah. Anybody from that guy in the red shirt, the front row, left is good.
They're good. They're pretty cool right here.
Yeah, that
Les filling tastes great. Neil, what made you want to sort of see this movie? Because you are very directly involved in this movie adaptation. You're not just handing it off.
Yeah, when we were first approached by several studios, our initial reaction was to say no. Let's not do it. We don't need to do this. But we had two pitches. One was from Clint Culpepper of Screen Gems, and the other was Sam Raimi that wanted to meet with us. It's the first thing when I heard, oh, Sam Raimi wants to meet with us. Don't geek out. Just take the meeting. And you know, when Sam came to Naughty Dog and just talked about the characters and the journey and what really The Last of Us meant to us, the relationship between Joel and Ellie, we saw a filmmaker that got it. And then the meeting we had with Screen Gems when they kind of first approached us and said, you know, we want to make the film version of The Last of Us, was like, well, can we write it? Yes. Can we have final say on casting? Yes. Can we have final say on director? Yes. So we're kind of giving the keys to the kingdom. It's like, well, now it's on us for this thing not to suck. Let's hope we don't make it suck. Sam?
Yeah, I was one of the companies that they said no to, basically, in the story. He said a few companies came in, they said no to, but then Clint Culpepper came in, and Clint had the power to really protect the great vision that I think we were all so attracted to. You know, the character of Ellie who goes on this fantastic journey we fall in love with, and the character of Joel who falls in love with her, even though he's fighting against his desire to fall in love again because he's been so wounded 20 years ago. It's just such a great movie, and I think Clint Culpepper and the people at TriStar realized if the keys to the kingdom, like in Neil's words, were to be in the right hands, they'd be in Neil's hands, and his team at Naughty Dog. So I think we're really going to make a great picture. That's why we're here so many years early to announce it, because I have so much faith in it. I feel it's going to be a great character journey, a really great love story, and really great work. So I'm super excited to be involved.
We've seen obviously a lot of video game adaptations before, but most of them they take the characters, they maybe take the setting, but then the story ends up being something kind of completely else. What are you guys? How close are you going to keep the original story here of The Last of Us?
I'd like to start by saying what's unique is that Neil's writing the script, and I don't think that's ever happened before. That the writer of the video game can actually write the screenplay, so he's really going to take the strengths and push them. And so I have a great deal of confidence that we're going to end up with a script that's really true to the original that we love about it.
Well, I remember one of the first meetings I had with Sam talking about, I had written an outline of what I thought we had to cut, because, you know, it's a 15-hour game, trying to shrink it down to a 2-hour film, and made some changes, some more drastic than others, and whatever, I'm just going to say. We talked about a different ending, a very different ending. And I'm like, okay, bear with me, let me talk this through. And I'm starting to walk through this ending, and he's like, what? And I'm like, well, hold on, just bear with me, and I'm keep going through the kind of the pieces. And he's like, almost like pulling his hair out. And by the time I finish, he's very calmly, he's like, well, here's what I liked about the original ending. And kind of talked it through and said, here are the things that are missing. And you know, through that conversation, he actually kind of convinced me to go back to a lot of the original material and to approach this film. It doesn't need to be different. It just needs to capture the core of what made The Last of Us special for so many fans. So that's been kind of a a shift. And I remember afterwards Sam said, is like, I started this process thinking I'm gonna have to protect this story from producers and finance and all these things. Looks like I'm gonna have to protect it from you. But we are staying pretty faithful, and it's in some ways it's getting more laser focused on the relationship between Joel and Ellie, and it's evolving. It's a different medium, a medium that has different strengths and weaknesses compared to games. But in that adaptation, I think we're going to get something that's going to be equally as powerful.
What about you came out with the Left Behind, the expansion story for the game. Is that something that potentially you could include in the game, or is that just going to sort of stay its own? No?
I think there's elements of Left Behind that could be pulled into the story. Yeah, I don't want to say more than that.
All right, Mr. KG. I know you guys are really early with this, but obviously you mentioned it, the story, this is a story between two people, Joel and Ellie, and if you're unfamiliar with the game, you saw a little bit up there on the screen. It's really their relationship, the chemistry with those two characters. So obviously the casting is super important on those two. I know it's early, but have you thought about that in terms of some people that you might want to play those roles?
We met with someone the other day. Nothing's been signed. Nothing's happened. Can we say?
I think you
Do
can
it.
say.
I think you should say it.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
It's too big a secret for me to say.
Do it.
Again, nothing's happened. It was just a meeting, just waiting for coffee. But we actually almost had her come out for this panel. We had a meeting with Macy Williams too. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Was that a good pick for her? Let her know 2 panels from now during Game of Thrones.
Yeah, let her know when she's here in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Wow, that would be great. All right, let's do it. What about, Sam, what I want to know is there a part for Bruce Campbell in this film? I mean, he sneaks in there to all the films somehow.
Yeah, I love Bruce. He's so great. He's my favorite of all the actors out there. He's really so funny and
He'd make a good David.
right. It's a really good idea. I think, honestly, I'd have to talk with Neil and see if it fit his vision of the thing and the director, when we find the director of the piece.
Neil, I mean, you're a fan. Didn't you once camp out to meet Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, my first E3, I'm aging myself, 97. I waited in line with my brother for 3 hours to get my DVD of Army of Darkness director's cut signed by Bruce Campbell. And I've been holding off. I'm like, don't bring it to work. Don't have Sam Raimi sign it. It's all, we'll just play it professional. But now I guess I'm going to do it.
I'll sign it.
I'm sure that you guys have already started to envision maybe certain scenes or moments from this game and get really excited or feel really challenged in terms of how would we adapt that? I'm really excited to see how we're going to turn this from video game up to the big screen, or wow, this is going to pose a really big challenge. Are there any certain scenes, moments, characters, anything that you guys have been thinking about already with this process?
Well, I'll say that there are so many great strengths in the game that I think the real job here is to recognize them. And it's more of an editing job about what material can be put in, what is not at the core of the relationship, what's put in more for gameplay, or what was the situation that was put in for the audience to really have a great video game versus a great movie. And the strength of great movies are the relationships. The people you fall in love with, you watch them become friends, you watch them fall in love with each other, and that's what's at the heart of the game. So I hope we just push that further. And I think, like Neil was saying, as he's working on the script, it seems to be his instincts to laser focus those relationships that we all fell in love with. And hopefully the actors will bring another layer of humanity. Not that it's not there already with the great actors who perform the voices and the directors, but actors on screen can bring a little something that animatronic animation sometimes can't. That extra level of humanity. That's what movies can do. They can really delve into your soul. And this is the raw material to do it with. So that's what I push for.
Yeah, the stuff that I'm excited for is actually we have the truck ambush that happened in the game. That was kind of the first thing we showed for the game, and I think it makes a great fit for the movie. But there's all these like new scenes that are kind of gluing the scenes, the moments we really like from the game, that I'm really excited about because they're really quiet. You don't have to worry about, okay, we need a game like some kind of combat encounter pretty soon. So the movie can have a different flow, a different way of breathing life into these characters than the game.
We're going to open this up to questions in just a minute, so you can start moving over to the mic if you've got some questions for Neil and Sam. But I got to get some updates from both of you. Neil, we'll start with you. Uncharted. What can you tell us about the next Uncharted?
It's going to be really awesome, and you're going to see something. I don't know if I can say this. You'll see something soon. Yeah, I can't say it here. All right, what you put me on the spot. We're trying to do something pretty different with the story and kind of the flow of the game, but it's still going to be charming. You're still going to get set pieces on and bringing them to the PlayStation 4 and trying to mirror those set pieces with what we're doing with the characters in the story. It really does feel like we have something special, and we're really evolving with Uncharted.
And Sam, getting back sort of in the horror genre again, which you know so well, it makes me want to ask, kind of, any thoughts of another Evil Dead or Army of Darkness 2, maybe something like that at some point?
Yeah, I always have loved working on that series with Bruce Campbell and Rob Tapert, and actually my brother and I are writing the Evil Dead TV show right now, believe it or not. It's weird, but true.
Wow, that's awesome.
With Bruce Campbell.
With Bruce Campbell.
All right.
Troy Baker's performance as Joel was really, really powerful in the video game. How are you going to deal with that with the new cast? Are they just going to bring a new rendition of Joel, or are they going to try to base off of the video games Joel?
Yeah, thanks. Troy, I would appreciate that. I think the key is to have really strong, talented actors that can bring their own take on the material and their own interpretation of the lines and the moments and bring it to life. I think if we tried imitating one-to-one like that, what the game did, then we'd be just that, a poor imitation.
Well said. All right. Thank you. Next. Wow, that's a lot of buttons. A lot of freaking buttons. How's it going? What's your question?
First, shop smart, shop S smart. Asked if there would be a part for Bruce in the new film, but will there be a part for Ted?
Wow, I hope so. I love working with Ted. He's so funny and always adds that extra bit of humor or quirkiness that I love having in my film, so I hope so. I won't be directing The Last of Us. I'll be all over it, but not as a director. So it's a little harder for me to have a specific choice of cast. I think Neil and the director will be in the first position of selecting them. But I'll be pushing for that. I love working with him. It's a blast too to have him on set.
I'm sure there's a spot. There's lots of infected and clickers too for people to make cameos.
Thanks for your question. Appreciate it. Hi, how's it going?
Hi, how are you? My question is for Sam Raimi. A huge, I hold you in high regard.
Thank you.
And how did you come to find this? Did you yourself play the game? I'm just curious how you came to appreciate this as much as we all did.
Well, I'm a gamer. I love playing games. A lot of first-person shooter games, but I also play Age of Empires, kind of a strategy game, I think you'd call it. I think a lot of Empire Earth, that kind of thing. Halo is really cool. Shooter games. But I heard that there was this great horror game out there from my partner of mine. So I rented it, and I was not expecting to be emotionally moved. I was just expecting, wondering if there was a really good horror story here. Will I be scared? Because sometimes I see a horror game and it doesn't deliver like I'd like it to. I quickly grow tired of the characters, or there are no characters. But I was completely blown away by the depth of the human portrayals, both of the actors, and done through Neil's writing. And I suddenly thought, we've got to make this into a movie. We've got to realize its full potential and protect it too. Protect it, because it's so great. So I'm a gamer, and I heard it was great from a friend, and watched it and fell in love with it. Thanks for that.
Thanks a lot. Hey, how's it going? What's your question?
Hi. My question is, will the zombies play a bigger role in the movie as they did in the game?
First of all, they're infected, they're not zombies. It's fine, it's fine.
Get it straight.
Yeah, the zombies, I said it.
They're infected, Neil.
The infected play a big role in setting up the world and setting the tension on the characters, and that's their main role in the game, applying pressure on Joel and Ellie and all the surrounding cast, so they have to make really difficult choices. And that's kind of the approach in writing the film, is like, let's not write just set pieces where you run into infected and you have a shootout. It's like, how is this moment applying pressure? How is this moment telling us something new about the bond between Joel and Ellie? And that's kind of like the test of whether a sequence should stay in or get cut out of the game.
Good morning.
Or the film.
I got it all.
Thanks. Hey, how's it going?
You good? You good? You need anything?
Last of Us 2?
Water and chips. I'll either
That's a good idea.
The water, our snacks are free. The snacks were at all
What do you think, Sam?
Last of Us 2. I want to know what the audience thinks. Who wants The Last of Us 2?
Okay, I'll ask you a harder question. If we were to do a Last of Us 2, should it have Joel and Ellie in it, or should it be all new characters?
Yeah, what do you
God, I'm so in love with those two that that's what I need to know what happens to them.
I'll see what Paul.
Maybe that's what's so beautiful about the ending of the first one, but as long as we didn't hurt them, you didn't hurt me. I'd love to see their adventures continue. That's what I like.
So you get a non-answer.
It was a good try, though, man. Good try. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what are the possibilities of an Uncharted movie? And who would you like to cast if it did come true?
Uncharted movie is coming out in 2016. It was announced the other day at Comic-Con. And as far as who I would want to cast, I've heard some things that I can't say, so I can't say.
Hey there.
I know the suggestion for, I guess, for Ellie was Macy Williams, but during the production for The Last of Us, Beyond Two Souls was out too, and I was wondering if Ellen Page would be a good Ellie. Kind of like her.
She speaks highly of you.
I said she kind of likes her.
I'm a big fan of all of her films. What do you think, Sam? Again, we'll have it to the audience. What do you guys think? We still haven't cast anybody.
Who? A lot of Macy's coming out, man.
Yeah.
All right. We'll say thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. Is that someone from Slytherin there? We got?
Hey.
What's up, Draco? Just saying.
So I was wondering, you know how Joel's daughter died in the beginning of the game?
Spoiler.
So Slytherin of you. So freaking Slytherin of you.
I was wondering if she would do the movie. If that reveals too much, then we don't know. But I was just wondering.
So you spoil the game and you want us to spoil the movie. As Sam told me, again, that one of the things I was trying to change was the opening, and he really encouraged me to keep the opening pretty faithful to what happens in the game. So I'll leave it at that.
Thanks, man. Have a good one. All right, next question. Here she comes. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, good. I was wondering if you would be having any of the minor actors for, say, Bill and Tess, if they would reprise their role in the movie because they did the motion capture.
We talked about that. In an ideal world, Ashley Johnson would be 14, but she's not. But I think there's ways to get those actors into the film, and I think in some way they have to be a part of it. What do you think? I don't know.
Well, her emotion, you're right, her emotion capture, I mean, her performance was so great that you can't imagine anybody else. But it's probably like that when you have a great actor and a great play, whether it's a screenplay or a stage play. And then the reality is the play then goes on to another city, like it goes to Broadway, and some of those actors can make it, and some can't for different reasons. Sometimes previous commitments, sometimes the director sees a different aspect of them, but I think the truth is that she probably couldn't play the part because it's like a little girl. And
She's asking about like the other parts.
oh, the other parts. I don't know. I think it'll be a casting process, and we'll find the best people available, and maybe they will be some of the originals.
Thanks. Hey, what's your question?
Hey, good morning. I'm wondering, because of all the aspects in the game, are you guys going to try, with all the motions, things like that, to try to do a 3-part? Or are you guys going to do one? You guys are going to do one motion picture, or do three parts?
God, one is hard enough, isn't it? It's so tough to make one. We're going to try and make one great picture, one really great picture that really stirs the audience and makes them want to see another one. And then I think it would be completely up to Neil. Is there another great story in his heart that he could tell and they really wanted to tell and write? And if it was as powerful as the first, then I would encourage him to go ahead and write it.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, great. Since the game just came out like last year, do you guys feel like it's too soon to be doing this, or will this decide the fate of like future titles for the game?
I'm going to answer that question. For anything else, I think I would say it's too soon. But I have so much faith in this being a great movie that's coming out, like a real excitement about it, and that Neil's doing it, and that Clint Culpepper has really wanted us to not let anybody mess it up, that I really wanted to come here early and say, hey guys, this thing is coming, and I think it's going to be great, because I thought, I'm a fan myself, and when someone really believes in something, I want to hear about it, you know, and I believe in this, it's going to be fantastic. So I don't think it's too early. It's like, I felt the same way about Evil Dead, although people didn't really feel that way at the time, other people. And I felt the same way about Spider-Man, that it's really going to be cool, and I want to tell people it's coming. So I didn't think it was too early, because I think it's a great project.
Yeah, one of the things for us when we took on this project, we asked ourselves that as well. But the thing that was kind of intriguing to us is we feel as developers and gamers, there's never been a great video game adaptation for film. There's been some stuff we've enjoyed, but nothing is like, and like, what if we could make the first great one? And like, I'm not saying we will, but we're going to try really hard. We're going to work our ass off to try to make this thing great and really capture the bond between Joel and Ellie. So that was kind of like, why wait? We have an opportunity with like great partners here, let's just go for it.
Also, part of a producer's job is to set a great bar of expectation. That not just for the writers and the directors to come and the actors, but for the studio, who is 100% behind the project. But it's my job to say, this thing is going to be great, put it on your radar, we're going to rise to the expectation, we're going to meet your expectation and hopefully exceed it. And it's not just for the fans, it's for me, it's for the entire industry too, to let them know this thing's coming and let the best directors out there know that there might be a chance to direct this really fine picture.
Well, I think it's cool, just Neil, you being so involved in Naughty Dog. This is a film you feel is a movie made by gamers for gamers. You know what I mean? Like, it actually has wrapped just within the whole DNA, which I think is really cool. We've got one more question we're taking, but then we have a matter of business that we're going to take care of. You guys are going to want to stick around for it. But let's take our last question. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Sam, I wanted to ask you, you said you're a really big fan of the game, and I wanted to know what was your favorite scene?
I have many, I don't have one. I'm affected so many times emotionally by your work. I think my favorite for this game, even though I love the scares and I love the fungus and the different types of monsters, one of the things I love is when the world is falling apart at the very beginning, and you don't exactly know what's going on, and everyone is running and screaming, and there's this traffic jam, and they can't get out. I feel like saying, what the hell is happening? Like in those, I feel like a character in a horror movie. It's exciting and scary, and there's a really great unknown quality that I feel. When the best horror movies are working, I feel that's active. Like, what's going on? Is there a supernatural? Is it a chemical thing? Is it a virus? Is it, in this case, a fungus? What's the cause of it, and how deep is it? Is my world ever going to return? So it's delving into the unknown and the deepest parts that I'm most attracted to the game. On the horror side. Then on the emotional side, for those of you who haven't played the game yet, maybe there aren't many of you, I'll just say, I don't want to spoil the endings, but the emotional connection between Joel and Ellie, when it's always unexpected, it's always moving in a new direction, I see him fighting against it, those moments of human attraction, conflict, that is so beautifully defined in this game, that's what attracts me. Those are my favorite moments.